Welcome! Today, we are diving deep into Whiteout Survival, and we're going to crack the code on what true combat power really is. This is all based on some incredible research that has crunched all the numbers so you don't have to. If you want to build a march that doesn't just look strong but actually wins, you're in the right place. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been there? You've busted your hump to get this huge power number. Maybe it's 100 million, maybe even more. You feel like a beast. But then you get into a real, honest-to-goodness fight, and you just get wiped. It's so frustrating, right? It almost feels like the game is lying to you. Well, turns out it kind of is. So here's our game plan. We're going to start by unpacking this thing called the power paradox. Then we'll reveal the actual hierarchy of what wins battles. We'll talk about building that perfect hero trinity, cover the crucial force multipliers, and wrap up with 4 super costly mistakes that might be sabotaging you right now. Okay, let's dive right into the core of the problem. To get anywhere, we first have to understand this power paradox. You know that big, shiny number you see on your profile? Yeah, that's not the number that actually shows up to the fight. The number you need to become obsessed with is march power. This is it. This is the pure, unadulterated strength of a single army you send out onto the map. It has nothing to do with how many buildings you've got or how many of your exploration heroes are leveled up. We're talking pure, raw battlefield performance. And here's where it all clicks. Your overall power, it's basically a vanity metric. It's just inflated with a bunch of stuff that has zero, and I mean zero, impact in a real fight. March power, on the other hand, is all signal, no noise. It's the laser-focused sum of your troops, your expedition heroes, their gear, and your combat research. Chasing overall power is exactly why those big, scary-looking accounts end up losing. So if march power is the end goal, how do we build it in the smartest way possible? Well, this is the best part. The research gives us a crystal clear, mathematically proven hierarchy of exactly what you need to prioritize. This, my friends, is the secret sauce. And get this, you don't have to be perfect at every single thing in the game. According to the data, just the top 4 factors on this list are responsible for over 60% of your total march power. Think about that. That is a massive, massive concentration of value in just a few key areas. And here it is, the definitive list. Just look at that S tier. Number 1, with an incredible 18% weight, is your troop tier. Just getting from T8 to T10 is the single biggest power jump you can possibly make. Right on its heels, you've got your leader's expedition skills, your hero gear, and those exclusive gear pieces, the widgets. These 4 things, this is where wars are won. Everything else is just playing a supporting role. So let's break this down, starting with the absolute heart of your march, your commanders. Based on that ranking we just saw, your heroes are ground zero for building an absolutely elite level of march power. And this number right here just perfectly illustrates why your hero choice is so critical. A Generation 4 hero isn't just a little bit better than a Gen 1. We're talking a staggering 76% more expedition stats. That is not just an upgrade, that is a whole new ballgame. So who are these game changers? Well, the research points to this group as the absolute S tier, the best of the best. You've got the legendary Gen 1 Geronimo, whose skills buff every single troop type. And you pair him with these Gen 4 powerhouses, Amos, Reyna, and Lyn, who bring highly specialized damage and those huge modern stats to the fight. And here are the exact lineups the research points to. For players who are spending, the trinity of Geronimo, Amos, and Reyna is mathematically the best you can get, period. But if you're free to play, don't sweat it. There is a fantastic and totally achievable option with Natalia, Logan, and Alonso that will let you punch way, way above your weight. Okay, so now you've got your elite commanders picked out. Let's talk about the force multipliers. These are the systems that take your hero trinity and just amplify their power to insane levels. Hey, remember how troop tier was number 1 on our list? Well, this chart shows you exactly why. Lethality is basically your troops' raw damage potential. The jump from T8 to T9 gives you more than 50% more of it. That's great. But look at the jump from T8 to T10. It is a 150% increase. Your T10 troops are literally 2.5 times more deadly than T8s right out of the box. You know what? I'm going to say that again, because this might be the single most important finding in this entire analysis. 2.5 times the lethality. This massive advantage then gets multiplied by every other buff you have. Your hero skills, your gear, your research, they're all multiplying a base number that's already 2.5 times bigger. It's just staggering. All right, next up, widgets. The research found a very clear optimal path here. Step 1 is absolutely non-negotiable. Get all 3 of your main heroes to level 2. Why? Because it unlocks a brand new skill, which the paper calls infinite marginal return. It is the biggest and cheapest power spike in the entire game. After that, you push your main damage dealer to 6, then you balance out the other 2. So where should all your precious resources actually go? The math doesn't lie. Nearly half, a full 45%, should be concentrated on your 3 main expedition heroes. Another 30% has to go into your troop foundation, training, tier-ups, all of it. And notice what's at the very bottom, which is 5%? Skins and decorations. They provide almost nothing and should be the absolute last thing you ever think about. Finally, let's go over the 4 mistakes that the research shows are most likely to completely sabotage your March power. Avoiding these is just as important as doing all the right things. Mistake number 1, and the researchers called this the most common error in the entire game: investing in exploration skills. Your hero's left side skills, the ones for dungeons, they do absolutely nothing. I mean, zero, zilch, nada for your march out on the world map. Every single resource point you put in there is a point you've thrown away. Okay, mistake number 2, mismatched chief gear. If you mix, say, 3 gold pieces with 3 red pieces, guess what set bonus you get? None. The system is all or nothing. This one little mistake can cost you almost 70% of the potential power from your gear. Always, always complete a full 6-piece set before you even think about moving to the next tier. Mistake number 3 is fascinating, a real mind-blower the research uncovered: overinvesting in your joiner march. Now, when I saw this data, my jaw hit the floor. When you join a rally, literally the only thing from your entire account that contributes buffs is the first skill of your first hero. That is it. Your other 2 heroes, your gear, your charms, your research, they contribute nothing to the rally's stats. It's wild. And the final mistake, leveling your heroes past the point of efficiency. The data clearly shows that by level 60, you've already unlocked over 92% of a hero's total squad capacity. The grind from 60 to 80 costs 3 times as much experience, but gives you less than 8% more capacity. For pure efficiency, stop at 60 or 65 and use those resources on something that actually matters. So, all of this brings us to one final question, a question that should fundamentally change how you play this game from this moment on. After seeing all the hard data, you just have to ask yourself, are you building a big, empty number for your profile, or are you building a focused, deadly, efficient march that is designed for one thing and one thing only: to win? The choice is yours.